now I can have a discussion with a Fortune 500 company about putting MySQL into commercial deployment, and we offer a very different brand value and service capability than MySQL does. So that's a synergy that we've already begun to see. We're already closing deals today that we would not have otherwise closed had MySQL been standalone. Now, thirdly, we can also supply all the users of MySQL with servers, storage, and related services, whether they're software services or professional services, that we couldn't have otherwise been able to deliver. And so when I talk to companies today, and especially web companies and online companies, one of the questions I've asked them is, do you prefer to do business with Sun because we can actually now give you confidence in the roadmap and the quality and support available around MySQL? And their response has been universally, of course, yeah. And that's, by the way, something that we're cultivating with our OEM partners by signing OEM relationships with the vendors with whom we already have Solaris OEM contracts, like IBM and Dell. That, again, creates revenue and value for them. So I think the acquisition of MySQL amplifies their value, and how we measure that value is in the form of revenue synergies, which we're already beginning to recognize. And by the way, that nowhere in there have I even talked to you about the profound impact it's had on Sun's brand. Because the number of companies that I talk to today that say, oh, I know you, you're the company that acquired MySQL. In many parts of the world, MySQL's brand was as strong, if not stronger, than Sun. So it introduces us to a new community, a new audience, a new set of developers. It helps amplify the adoption of the technologies and the company that we're already investing in.
How are you going to make sure that Sun will keep this vibrant little startup, keep the energy, because they look themselves as pirates, and then Sun is more of a...
So do we.
Some is more of the corporate, some of the...
That's not how we perceive ourselves internally. I mean, bear in mind, we're a little tiny company going up against some really big companies. So I think internally at Sun, and it's not everybody, there's a huge portion of the company that says, there's a world of opportunity, how do we get after it? What are all the ways that we can go disrupt the market, change the perception, go be the iconoclast? So to me, that's a part of who Sun is. We're a company that was, born out of the innovation of students. And if anything, that's what we're turning back into.
Ever going to join that?
It's up to Rich to make the decisions about what we join and what we don't. We're really happy with the download volumes we're seeing with NetBeans.
Yeah.
They're accelerating pretty rapidly. I think what we've seen from members of the community is they like the fact that NetBeans moves so fast that it is comparatively so lightweight. We can make a lot of progress very quickly, go after a target, hit it, and then move on.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we recognize there's a big community with Eclipse, and there's a lot of very important partners, and we'll work with them.
Giving away the hardware, people letting people try, and then because that's a lot of money. That's investment that you.
The program more than pays for itself, because what happens is you give somebody a 12 terabyte thumper, and they come back and they buy 10 48 terabyte thumpers.
But you cannot just give to anyone who asks.
No, we give to anyone who asks. I mean, you have to prove that you're capable of paying, so that we don't send out to every 9-year-old who got access to the internet. But if you're a startup or a university, or if you have the ability to represent commercial integrity, we'll send. We're just loaning you intellectual property, which has a hard cost. And if you want it, you buy it, and if you don't, then you buy a different configuration. But no matter what, you have a positive experience with Sun. So again, we have a lot of capital, so we could use that capital to introduce customers to Sun. They don't all have to buy.
Just want to go back to the Amazon question. Sun was maybe one of the first company with this utility computing, but Amazon is known for the S3 and etc. So what do you think you missed when you launched utility computing? And
so I'm not sure we missed much. I mean, we went after the high performance computing community, which was the hardest community to go after, because you have all kinds of security issues in the U.S. to address, like the denied and restricted party list. We also targeted, in my view, a very esoteric marketplace, which is high-end Fortune 100 businesses building large-scale supercomputers. Amazon went after the low end and went after the developer community. So, almost all of the clouds that are out there are our customers. So we're thrilled to support them with high-scale infrastructure that works in the ways they need it to and with the performance levels they want. I think the definition of a cloud is also changing because, I was asked by a CEO, what do I think of cloud computing? I said, well, that's just a new word for network computing, and we've had that for a while, and we think the network is the computer, and eBay's got a wonderful cloud, Salesforce has a wonderful cloud, Google's got one now, Amazon's got one. There's, that's never going to stop.
Sun?
Absolutely. Well, think about it. We offer update services today. We offer provisioning services. We offer download services. Those are all forms of network computing. Have we offered developer services? Not yet. And I think we likely will. But again, I don't think there's going to be a big market in just providing core infrastructure. It's tough to make money there. I think we're going to deliver rich technologies which are back-ended by our cloud. We'll deliver services on the margin, so I'm not actually worried about making money off of free software. You just have to bear in mind that there is a very bright line between those who want to spend time versus money and those who spend money versus time. And I had lunch with Mark Zuckerberg a few weeks back, and I asked him why he picked MySQL 4 years ago in his dorm room. And he looked at me like I was a loon, and he said, because it was free. And, I knew the answer, but, I wanted to hear it. So 4 years later, they decided they had more money than time now, and they wanted to begin, transitioning the people they had working on MySQL maintenance to do higher value work at Facebook, and so they signed a commercial contract with MySQL. So in that instance, it was a 4-year transition. In some instances, Nokia, Siemens, Google, others, it may have been more rapid than that. But I think for the businesses at scale that don't want to be in the business of maintaining MySQL, you can purchase commercial services from Sun or commercial support, and that's what our business model is. That's what it's become.